Welcome everyone to the completely unnecessary podcast. Ian with his dead eyes for
I was just thinking.
Tuesday, May 10th, 2022. It's the birthday podcast. My birthday was yesterday.
It was. I have a gift for you.
Is that why you went in dead eyes? That's Ian Ferguson. I'm Pat Contry on the show today. Thank you, Ian. Wow.
You're welcome.
What? Thank you, Ian. On the show today, we'll be talking about Intellivision officially becoming maybe a scam with the Amico at this point. The 2001 Duke Nukem Forever was leaked. Other good stuff. We'll have a Patreon poll, and thank you so much, Ian, for the birthday present.
You're welcome.
When I talked to Ian and some people on the phone, so you should. It would have been a surprise. In the phone last week, Ian's like, "I'm not sure you're getting your present in time. We'll see if it arrives."
Patrick, I remember you telling me this. Patrick, every year you tell me for like 2 weeks you've got me something. So it's different.
Okay.
You do. You tell me leading up to it. So
okay.
Enjoy.
Thank you, Ian. Let's see. Oh, nice job with the wrapping here.
Vonnie did the wrapping.
Oh, see?
I cannot wrap.
You couldn't. Well, this just was tying a bow.
Yeah.
Like,
these are handy bags.
What we got in here? It feels cloth-like. It's not another sweatshirt.
No.
What the heck is this? Looks like a soccer. You got me. You got me a Clay Thompson.
Yes,
Thank
I
you,
did.
Ian.
You're welcome.
Who doesn't love Clay Thompson? Thank you, Ian.
Every single time you have brought up maybe getting a jersey, you've always said, maybe I'll get a Clay Thompson jersey.
Thank you, Ian.
You're welcome.
I love Steph, but who doesn't love Clay?
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Everyone
love
wants
Clay?
the Steph jersey. You got to go with your homeboy.
Yeah. Who wouldn't want to be Clay's friend? Come on.
Right.
He's got a cute bulldog. He goes in a boat. You know.
Anyway, after getting you one, I was like, I don't know that I'd ever wear one outside of the house, and I don't know or care if you do either, but I figured that looks like a comfortable thing to wear and stick around the house in.
Oh, there's all air holes in it.
Yeah, that looks extremely comfortable. I took it out of the bag, and I was like, this is... Yeah. I would wear... Yeah, it's like this is good. This is good housewear.
Yeah, like hockey sweaters have like little mini... They're breathable a little bit, hockey sweaters. Not like the old sweaters, like there literally were sweaters they weren't. Thank you, Ian. It's very thoughtful of you. Is it a large?
It's a large.
Thank you, Ian.
Yeah.
So I'll wear it on the podcast. I'll wear it during Game 5 tomorrow, Ian. That's really cute of you to do. Thank you, Ian. It's very thoughtful.
You're very welcome.
Now I'm all flushed. I'm all embarrassed. Warriors are up 3 games to 1. What was I gonna say?
Yeah, I was afraid that like if
they would have won, if they were like swept by now,
badly,
they were swept or down 3-0.
It was my idea for a couple of months, and I was like, I mean, they're doing pretty good, but
I see. You're like checking the score. This is good. This is touch and go with the Grizzlies.
If it was off season, it wouldn't have mattered, but like being during the playoffs, yeah.
Playoffs? We're talking playoffs? I knew that sweatshirt was coming off. That's a record. That was like a minute and a half.
Ooh,
the sweatshirt comes off. So real quick, before we get into my weekend, thanks to a few things here. Thanks to Retrobit for sending me the 8-bit edition of Alwa's Awakening. So Alwa's Awakening came out, a couple years ago?
Yeah, I like the original game.
And this is an NES DMake on a cartridge. Right here, and we talked about it on the podcast. We
talked about it when they came out. The DMake looks really good.
And then they did the cute thing, the digital version that we talked about, which is the ROM and other goodies like the manual and things on a little cute USB with the character. I guess that's Alwa.
Yeah. No, Alwa is the
Zoe. This is Zoe.
Alwa is the land.
Okay, this is Zoe or Zoe, a heroine sent from another world to bring peace to the land of Alwa. There you go. I'll check this out. I will play this game. It's supposedly one of the best NES homebrews or aftermarket games ever. So I will play that. And then thank you to this was something that they reached out to me, and I don't think I responded, but they sent it anyway from Ghoulie Kit. They sent me the King Kong 2 Pro controller. And they said it's the first electromagnetic joystick to solve game controller drifting on this. So that's what they say. So all right, there's a little magnet in there. How do they work, magnets? We don't know. We don't know how they work. Who knows? So thanks for that. Ian gave me the nice clay jersey, which is great. That's I only have 2 Ranger sweaters from the 90s.
Oh wow,
that's it. I don't have anything else. So I from playing my big street hockey days, I have the blue Rangers home jersey where it says Rangers. Then I got the one that I didn't ask for like 4 or 5 years. They did the Statue of Liberty as an alternate, which is like, it's okay. So I have that one as well. I forgot who got me that one.
Gotcha.
Probably late 90s or early 2000s. My sister might have, but you can't go wrong with the traditional Rangers because they're original 16. Like just letters across. You know, it's like changing like the Yankees logo. That'll never happen. But the Rangers did it for a little bit there. Oh yeah, and congratulations to our pals at Limited Run. They opened up their physical store last weekend.
Yeah, that's cool. I want to go check it out.
It looks amazing.
Looks really nice inside.
They have trading cards there. They have CRTs all over the place. They're running stuff there, and of course they have a certain NES Super Nintendo guidebook there in stock in their book section there. So go if you're in a what exact town is it? Limited Run store. Let me just see the exact address here, if I can find it. They have music as well. They have music. They have a music section.
Oh,
as well
that's
there.
cool. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember seeing that. They've got like video game soundtracks and stuff too.
It's in. I just saw it in North Carolina. McGregor Village in Cary. It's 80 themed appearance and approximately. They have a 9-hour custom soundtrack playing.
Oh wow!
So that's pretty cool. So there you go. That was a sort of their dream there, Josh and Doug, to do that. So there you go. So what else did I do this weekend, Ian, besides visiting the zoo, which you can hear all about in the exclusive podcast that we do, patreon.com/CU podcast. I saw Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
As did I. I wasn't necessarily planning on it, but
did I coax you to see it before the podcast we talk about?
No, it was more Vonnie that like. Because we had like seen a commercial or something, and I was like, I do want to see that. And she's like, I do too. And we're sitting there, and for whatever reason, you saw it Sunday.
Sunday I saw it. I avoided most spoilers.
I kept thinking the next day was the podcast, forgetting that we had another night where we could go see it. So Vonnie and I ended up going.
Sure.
Thought it was very good. Well, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It was. Without getting into the story, I think my overall impressions of it was a kind of silly and dumb movie, but I really enjoyed it.
Silly and dumb in tone, but like
yes.
What goes on is pretty harrowing, which is like a Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah, no, it is a Sam Raimi movie, especially the last chunk of it is a Sam Raimi movie.
The last like 25 minutes?
Yeah.
I was grinning ear to ear at a certain part we'll get into.
Very much a Sam Raimi movie. I enjoyed it. I think that the time, the only thing that you and I really disagreed on, I think last night was, I don't think it needed any more time. I thought it was just about perfect in terms of its length.
2 hours, 6 minutes. For a movie like this, I thought it could have been longer. Supposedly it was about 2:40 before they did reshoots. So they added in more stuff and cut stuff out. They did about, I think I read 2 to 3 months of reshoots, which was a lot of reshoots.
I figure I was honestly surprised Sam Raimi made it to the end of the film because, I mean, his Spider-Man direction was a little different, but I was afraid that this was going to be another, what the fuck is his name? The guy who did like Shaun of the Dead, who was supposed to do Ant-Man.
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright. That's it. Yeah. I was afraid it was going to be another Edgar Wright situation.
Well, they just took him off the film entirely. He came in as a replacement from the guy who directed the first Doctor Strange, Raimi.
Oh, he did. He was the replacement.
Yes, he was the replacement. The first guy quit over creative differences.
Oh, right. Okay.
So he might not have liked this version or where it was going. Then Raimi came in. I think they then rewrote some of it or whatever. They had to rewrite some of it anyway. This was supposed to come out originally before No Way Home. So the order was supposed to be like multiverse set up and then capitalized in the Spider-Man movie.
Wasn't this supposed to be like 2020?
This was supposed to be a year ago originally.
Okay, yeah.
So like the whole order got switched. That was probably part of the reshoots and rewriting. But I kind of prefer it like this, where you kind of WandaVision and then Loki set up the multiverse stuff that's happening now, and then they blow it all open with. No Way Home Spider-Man, and then here's the big version of it. The big version of it. Big! And now you have them transporting different multiverses. Oh, wait, obviously, okay. Lots of spoilers, we should say. Lots of spoilers coming. It's been spoiler-free so far. I'll say, here's my spoiler-free version of this. I think this was I'm not saying it was the best MCU movie. It's not. I enjoyed this more than almost any other MCU movie because it was obviously one director's vision. And of course, you had the MCU tropes in there a little bit, but it wasn't like every 2 seconds. We need a funny quip every 2 seconds now. Every 2 seconds we got to do this to lighten the mood. No, this was a horror movie. It was structured like a horror movie. It felt like a horror movie. There were jump scares. There was gruesome things happening in this movie. I
don't know if there was anything too gruesome.
Oh my fucking God, Ian, we're gonna get spoiled. There's nothing gruesome happening. Nothing gruesome?
I didn't say nothing gruesome. I said it's not, I don't think that there was a lot of violence, but there was not a lot of gore.
If you added some blood splatter to this movie, it would have been R.
Yes, that's what I said yesterday when we were talking. Just blood, because it wasn't that gory. It was violent, but it was not that gory. That was my argument. You saying they would have to add blood to make it an R.
That's the only thing that did not make it R.
Gore. Gore was missing to make it an R.
Blood is not gore. Spoilers. Go fast forward in your car 20 minutes forward to be sure. Spoilers, or on YouTube, shut it off. Heads get popped in this movie.
Yes.
Multiple heads. That's gory, and
it's not gore.
Heads get popped.
There wasn't a lot of blood. Blood means gore. It was violent. You're missing violence and gore.
There was blood on the Captain Carter's shield that fucking sliced her in half.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
That's more gore than we've seen in any MCU movie.
Sure.
Like that's like,
but we need to not compare it to other MCU movies in terms of the rating. That's all I'm getting at.
I would not let a kid see this movie if I was a parent. No way in hell would an 8-year-old see this movie. This is extreme for them.
Okay.
Are you? Are you?
I think it would be fine for a kid.
Oh my God. I don't know if we have different thoughts about what kids should be seeing. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
Some kids have nightmares from this.
Yes, they could, but I don't think it's something that is so bad that no kid should see it. I think parents can decide.
I never said that. I never said.
I think parents could decide.
That yes, this isn't.
There are certainly some kids that would probably get nightmares and freak out from it. Absolutely.
This is a horror film. Wanda walks around with other people's blood on her in this movie. This is not, she offs superheroes like they're nothing in this movie. They cut out one that I'll get into. Mordo from the original film was killed by Wanda in the original, supposedly the original cut of the film.
Oh, really?
They cut that scene entirely because he doesn't show up. He was like one of the main people set up as a villain in the first Doctor Strange.
Right.
It was already like 6 years ago at this point. God, it was so long ago. And he's nowhere to be seen in the regular universe, like the regular universe.
Regular universe, yes. He's in the movie, just not the regular universe.
Yes, that's why he's not there. Wanda offs him. He goes after her.
Gotcha.
Obviously, she's the whole point of that Mordo in the first one is like you're corrupting nature. Being a wizard, I had to kill the wizards. Well, she's corrupting nature as a witch,
right?
And so he tries, and obviously she deals with him. So that's gone in the movie. So in terms of the length, the reason I say should have given more time to breathe, I kept up with the plot. I could see how some people wouldn't have been able to, especially if they didn't see WandaVision, if they didn't see Loki. They don't go back and re-explain anything, really.
Sure, I didn't see either of those either, but I guess just an overall understanding of the Marvel Universe has kept me pretty much...
So, yeah, sure. So Frank had seen the commercials and knew the basic concept of WandaVision. He knew, like, she took over a town.
Right.
So, like, they reference that and mention it briefly, but they don't get into, like, the details of, like, her becoming the Scarlet Witch, her getting the book, like stuff like that is glossed over.
Okay.
Because that's a big thing. Because if you saw this Wanda without seeing WandaVision, you'd be like, why is she so evil now? Like you wouldn't.
Well,
you sort of skipped over something.
Right. And I think even though I didn't see it, it was just general knowledge of kind of what happened.
That's what I mean. Like you could have spent a little bit of time explaining that for an audience, or even me, because I even forgot some of what happened in WandaVision. Now it came out a year ago, and I was like, "Oh, that happened. She got this book thing. I knew she became the Scarlet Witch." I sort of forgot the ending of WandaVision there. So that was the one thing I was like, "Okay, you could have explained that to some people if some people had just seen the movies, like, wow, this isn't the Wanda I just saw." That's
right.
What I mean. Like,
I do have to say, I really enjoyed Wanda in this movie.
Oh yeah,
I mean, they finally really kind of captured the wildness of Scarlet Witch.
Oh yeah,
in the comics,
it's nuts.
She's off her rocker. Oh. She can be good or bad, and it doesn't take a whole lot to swing her either way.
Bad. This is bad. And it's funny on Twitter when you see people are like, "Oh, Wanda didn't do anything wrong. She was green for kids." Like, no, she's a mass murderer. Like, let's calm down here. It's weird how these people try to like glom onto these mass murderers in movies, like fucking in Star Wars. They're like, Kylo Ren is a cool dude. No, he murdered tons of people.
Killmonger did nothing wrong.
It's like, okay. we have this weird like villain worship. Now you see why people write letters to serial killers. Like it's the same mindset. It's like identifying with the good inside a monster. But anyway, so the other reason I thought they could have expanded out, there was a couple of moments. The first 20 minutes, there's so much action. I love the structure of this movie. It comes.
Well, that's why I
liked
liked the fact. I don't think I wouldn't want anything added there because I like for once. I saw a Marvel movie that just got to the fucking point and understands that the viewers at this point are comic readers or people who have watched the shows or people who, if they have not watched the shows like me, are probably going to be able to understand and figure out what's going on. There was no origin nonsense, and yet it gets started almost comically quick. Yes. But that's I think one of my favorite parts about it. You get 2 hours and 5 minutes of story and development of the story. Yeah. There's no sitting around. There's no bullshit.
The only thing I would add was obviously some of the sorcerers. What's the name of the word? Karmatage. What the hell is it called? I'm looking at the plot thing where they go.
Karmatage.
So
Wong is so good. I love Wong.
So, but there was something going on between him and the female sorcerer that sacrificed herself. They cut out something there.
Oh yeah, there was definitely something there.
And with the Minotaur like wizard, like there's something they probably cut out like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm thinking while they were there, like
sure,
because I'm like they look at each other and there's something. Then I'm like, okay, and they reference her before. It's like there was something here between some relationship, a pupil thing going on, or she liked him or something. And that was like stuff like that. I think they could have put back in. Maybe disagree. Like I would have liked that. It was just like I said. It was little.
No. So here's my thing. I think you're right there. I wouldn't have minded. I wouldn't have minded seeing that. Would have made that scene a little bit better. But I really just like the fact that it seems like Raimi, they cut it down.
And speaking of horror,
it looks like a fucking statement to me. Like to make a Marvel movie these days that's 2 hours and 5 minutes long.
And speaking of horror, that was one of the images of her stabbing the fucking book and disintegrating and burning up. I was like, holy shit! There's some heavy imagery in this movie that I was not shocked to see because it's Raimi. But I was like, man, if they give this an R rating, I wouldn't have argued with it for that. I wouldn't have. And supposedly there is an R cut, obviously with more stuff.
Release the Raimi cut. That's what I said to you last night. I would like to see that. I'm sure there is an R cut with more blood, more gore. Yeah. I would love to see it. I would love to see Captain
Carter.
I'd love to see that in with
just like seeing it
just sliced right in half.
And that's where the movie almost like that's like the middle of the movie where it kind of slows down for a little bit when they went to that one. Or they went to the Illuminati, and I will say that's the one part where I can picture Raimi saying, all right, I got to put this in the movie. I don't want to.
No, and that was the part that I didn't like as much. And obviously they used it as a way to show Xavier and Reed Richards, kind of give people the hint that,
and they brought back Black Bolt from Inhumans, the show that no one saw.
Oh yeah, I never saw it.
But it's the same actor.
Oh, it's the same actor. Okay. Yeah. So he's like the only character I would have wanted to see in the Eternals anyway. I like Black Bolt.
And then Captain Carter was in the What If cartoon series.
And then Monica Rambeau.
The alternate, I guess Captain Marvel. She's probably going to be in the sequel Captain Marvel movie. Yeah.
So yeah, that was the part that made me realize, okay, I'm watching a Marvel movie.
Yes.
And it's like you said, Frank's complaint, there's too many heroes. I understand that that's not the way it's going to be. And I understand especially in some of the other superhero movies, it makes sense. But I would have liked to have seen this a little leaner.
For that part,
yes,
because that's literally like the middle. I was trying to.
That's why I don't
like
necessarily
the middle of the movie. That's like
That's why I don't feel like they needed to add time. I feel like you could have cut something there and added something else.
Well, that was like sort of like exposition. It was like exposition, but we knew what was happening with Wanda at that point. We knew Wanda was trying to get America Chavez. So Chiwetel Gomez did a great job.
She was great.
The problem was the writing of her character wasn't the best. She didn't have a whole lot to do besides basically playing as the Deus Ex device. Basically, she was the MacGuffin.
Yeah,
she was the movie's MacGuffin for Wanda, which I get, but like she had nothing else to do. So I kind of felt like I'm trying to think like, how do you write that character? I guess one of my problems is that the power she has is so weird that even if they explained it, maybe they will in a future. I don't know anything about the character. If they try to explain the character, she can create portals to the multiverse. If they stopped to do that, would it made it better? Because as it stands, it was almost like, wow, you just need her as the plot device that she's chasing after, like a horror movie. That's what it's a horror movie. She's trying to get something.
I think it was just to get her in there and get her into people's minds. Not to say that your complaint isn't valid. It is.
No, I liked her interplay with Doctor Strange. It was fine. They had sort of a protege that I loved how he called her kid, because it reminded me of Temple of Doom with Short Round. I love that. I love all that. I loved it. It's just that like her character was underwritten. There was I needed a bit
She'll get more time to develop later.
Like you had the parents thing and try to find your parents. Like she caused her parents to go off somewhere. So I'm like,
clearly that'll be the focus of a movie in the future.
Or she'll be part of the new Avengers or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, they'll do that. But no, I loved how they didn't hold back with like Wanda just messed up everyone. Like,
she was great.
And it was from the start when she ruined Carmitage and messed up everyone and was killing everyone left. And the horror scene, like when they're like waiting for Wanda to come, that's when I've said this is a Raimi movie. All the zooms and the weird angles looking around, and then like they're letting Raimi cook. He's directing how he wants to direct. I was like,
but I've never seen Raimi cook quite like, or he was allowed to have some fun. The battle between the two strangers.
Yes,
with the music and the soundtrack, and I feel like there's going to be. I feel like that scene is going to split people.
I loved it,
but I loved it. Yeah, I loved everything about it.
Because one of my main issues with the Doctor Strange stuff so far is the magic he uses is always like one of two or three things.
Yes,
it's always like a shield. It's always the fucking they overuse the sling ring.
Yep,
or they do the whip.
Yep.
And that's not what Doctor Strange is supposed to do, like these weird abstract spells.
Yes.
I know it's hard to show on screen, but that's
they nailed it.
That's
there.
it.
Yes.
That's the weird shit. You saw the notes, then they get thrown. Okay, we're going to do a note back because that's what's in front of your eyes. I thought it was brilliant.
I thought it was fantastic.
I don't know if Raimi came up with that or not, or was it a team thing, but I'm like, that was better use of magic than I've ever seen. Besides the fight with Thanos and turning the stuff into butterflies and stuff, that was pretty cool. But like that was a moment where I'm like, this is fucking. This is one of the first times in an MCU movie where like the last half hour is like the best part of the movie.
It's best because so many MCU movies, I like the early part, the story building, and then the finales all go to shit with bad CG. Not this one. Because
even as much as we love Winter Soldier, the last 20 minutes is not the best part of the movie.
No,
it's not. It's fine, but it's not the best part of the movie.
No,
and in this movie it is. And then like the necromantic stuff, I was grinning ear to ear when I was like, oh, they're gonna was it sleepwalk into the corpse? I'm like, this is
Dreamwalk. And according to Vani, they actually they pull. She loved it because they pulled from Marvel Zombies.
Okay.
Because how Marvel Zombies comes about is the multiverse shit and stuff going through gates. So I don't know a whole lot about that series. Vani always says it's pretty fun. But yeah, so they even pulled weird shit into the movie.
But seeing a rotting corpse of Doctor Strange being controlled, and then his demons screeching and being like a cape and like their voice. I'm like, that's Sam Raimi.
And that's
why this is a say what you will about the other things about the movie. His stamp is on this movie more so than maybe like.
And I've seen that in a lot of the reviews. They say a third of a Sam Raimi movie is better than no Sam Raimi movie at all, and it really is. A third finish is great, and then what was like? Oh shit, there was something else I was going to say about it. Oh, and that's really where, like, I say online that it's goofy or kind of dumb. I don't mean dumb in a bad way. It's really goofy at the end, and it's going to divide some people.
I loved it.
I thought to me, it was refreshing to see someone kind of have fun with the Marvel universe, because I haven't seen that in many years.
Let's do something stupid, but within the rules. And it's out there, but it still makes sense. The
Thor movies, they let Taika Waititi do that, but this was even a bit sillier.
Not to this extent.
Right.
This was like, all right, we have a corpse walking around weird, and then the demons.
Yeah,
like that's.
That was cool.
I mean, come on. I was literally I was like smiling when I saw the corpse get reanimated. I'm like, this is so Raimi.
Yeah, you actually get a payoff in this movie.
Yeah. And obviously you got to sit through, like I said, you get the big battle with Wanda. That's all MCU. It's like almost like it's almost like too much. She's just destroying everything. There's like no stakes involved. But I like that they got out of the way early. They showed she's a threat like 20 minutes in. She's like attacking. It's like right out of the game.
And the action scenes in the movie are insane too. There's just so many of them. We haven't even mentioned Shumagorath. I was so happy to see Shumagorath.
Was it the monster? in the beginning.
Oh yeah, that's
the
yeah.
monster.
I
Okay.
love Shumagorath.
Yeah, that was a great fight scene.
It was good.
But that's like an MCU scene. That's not like a
Yes,
Raimi thing.
but they kind of get that out of the way first, so
Yes.
that like they can really tick off all the boxes.
Yes. Even the multiverse stuff in terms of like going the other realities was cool. Like that scene where they go to paint and they go to there's refinement. I'm like, that's some cool.
She's
imagery.
like, you don't want to get stuck in the paint.
You don't want to
It's
get stuck in
hard
the
to
paint
eat.
again.
Yeah.
So no, I like I said, I liked it. I wish you can do these movies. It's a shame that like it's been like 6 years between the sequel. So 16 or 17. It was like late 16 for the first one. It's like you got to do movies more than once every 6 years with these characters like this. And I love that these movies, at least for Doctor Strange, they feel at least a little bit different. The first one did too, but not like this.
Not like this.
And so this is the direction I want them to go. And then obviously there's the mid credits payoff. I did not know who the character was. I look it up. I was not familiar with that character.
Who is it?
That Charlize Theron played it. Someone named Clea, who's also I guess a sorceress or like a multiverse thing.
Okay, yeah, I don't know that.
So and then obviously you get Bruce Campbell cameo, which is fantastic.
Yes, I was happy to see that. I stayed to the end.
No one in the theater knew it wasn't me. I was the only one.
I waited because Vani was like, I can't wait. I got to get up. I got to use the bathroom. And I was like, I'm waiting because in my head I'm like, they're gonna go back to Bruce. I was like, Sam Raimi's gonna go back to Bruce.
Yes.
So yeah, I was happy to see that.
And his car was in there too. Did you see what the car was?
No.
His car was the multiverse for the Doctor Strange that they near the end. The car was like floating around.
Oh really?
Supposedly.
Nice.
It was the 74 car, whatever the hell that is. That's in every movie. So, like I said, I'm happy. Maybe Sam Raimi hasn't directed a huge amount of movies the past 10 years. I think, so, like, hopefully this gets him back into it.
Yeah.
Because, like, oh god, it was like, wow, it felt like its own movie, like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, wow, it feels like its own thing. Feels like its own thing.
Yeah.
I can make argue this, but felt more like its own thing than even Guardians of the Galaxy because it was so out there. We disagree about the gore. Real quick about the Mr. Fantastic and all of them getting slaughtered. John Krasinski is cast as him. He was fan casting to do the actual movie. I don't know if this is him saying, I'm not going to be in the full movie. You got me as this variant. I think it's really weird to show that character getting off that brutally, who's going to be a main character in a movie that comes out next year. I would not have done that. If I was Kevin Feige, I'd be like, I don't think we should do that. Me personally. I know he's on the real Illuminati, not in the comics. I think it's weird showing the death of a character that's going to be a huge movie coming out. I just think it's weird to do that. Maybe
well, I think that's how they're. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Unless
how
they can build that into the story of the Fantastic Four, I don't think they will because the character's gone. Popped his fucking skull and brain.
No, that was Black Bolt.
Well, he got popped as well, shredded up, and
he got shredded,
and his head popped.
Oh, okay.
You didn't notice that? That's why I said multiple heads got popped.
And then well, it's the same thing I wondered though about Patrick Stewart being Xavier.
I think that's
killed him.
I think either it's a one-off or you're going to have some story where the X-Men want to get revenge against Wanda, maybe, but Wanda killed herself. Spoilers, but she didn't kill herself in that universe. She's a house mom.
Well, the mid-credit thing is whoever that chick is grabbing Doctor Strange and being like, we have to fix an incursion. So I have a feeling we're going to end up with those characters back. We're just going to mash two worlds together.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. The X-Men are coming in. That was like the precursor of the X-Men coming in. It showed that, hey, there's mutants with him. Clea is, what the hell can she do? She's like a sorceress.
Okay.
Her name is Clea Strange. Spoilers. So she's like a multiverse Doctor Strange being.
Interesting.
It looks like. There you go.
I'll ask Vonnie about her.
A lot of these characters are bringing in are like within the past 10, 12, 15 years, so I don't know them. Like I didn't know. I had heard of America Chavez, but I had never read a comic with her. No, this one's an older one. So like I said, I'd never heard of it. It was like it's from the 70s. So anyway, I had fun with it.
I did.
It got me kind of reinvigorated me a little bit. I think the next Thor is going to be good. The next Thor is already 2 months away only.
The next Thor will be good, and I'm interested in seeing. I'm cautiously interested in seeing where they go with some of these. I'm not going to see every fucking.
No, I'm not. I didn't see Black Widow. I didn't see Eternals.
Yeah, I didn't see Black Widow or Eternals.
I still haven't seen Moon Knight. I got to watch it.
Moon Knight's good.
I'm just trying to it's been so many. This is the 28th movie that they've come out with in 14 years.
All right, we got to move on, though.
We got to move on.
Fun little story. A roboticist, this is an article from PC Gamer, a roboticist built a hardware aimbot that could outperform the pros until it aimed so hard it died.
All right.
So most aimbots, of course, are software. You usually have to charge, you pay money for them. They run in the background of your computer. They help you cheat. They make you an asshole. Kamal Carter, though, thought he would have some fun and made a hardware aimbot that actually moves a mouse. And you can see what he made. It's a little square with basically 4 wheels, and it kind of like how a trackball would work, but reverse, and the wheels move the mouse.
Wow, okay.
So pro players, so he tested it out at AIM Labs. AIM Lab is like a program you can use that basically rates how well you can aim.
Okay.
Average players get scores of like 40 to 50,000 on AIM Lab. Pro players get 80 to 90,000 on AIM Lab. His hardware bot got 118,494 on AIM Lab, and he was really hoping to like test it against some actual Valorant players. Like he was hoping to take it to like competitions and have like Valorant players try to play it. But it broke. It aimed so hard it broke, and one of the wheels broke.
Oh no.
So it says that he's done with it for now.
Yeah, it's like moving around just quickly. Yeah,
right. Probably blew it out. But yeah, he said it's that's the end of it for now. But he'll probably return to it. But yeah, neat little story about. They even mentioned in the article, something you can do so easily with a program. This guy decided to actually have fun with it and see if he could recreate it in hardware, and sure as shit did.
You can recreate fun at ultimatenintendo.com.
Yeah, you can.
There's lots of fun you can recreate. You can recreate fun with getting the RBI baseball stickers, the enamel pins running out in the podcast ones, the certain NES and Super Nintendo guidebooks as well there. And then I'll be on Twitch Wednesday, twitch.tv/ContraCode for all your 70s, 80s, and 90s commercials needs. And cameo.com/PatContry. No Mother's Day wishes, well wishes on the Cameo this year. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. As well. Ian, the Video Game Hall of Fame finalists were announced.
They were.
We talked about.
I think we both came up 50-50.
Yeah, I think so. I was surprised about a couple, and
I think I picked Civilization 2 as well. I know I didn't pick
Civilization,
Zelda.
TOO
as well.
Civilization
yes.
2, but
yeah, I can't remember exactly what I picked. I'm pretty sure I got 2 out of the 4, if not 3 out of the 4.
Headline: AP News. Rochester, New York. More than 40 years after blazing a trail for female video game characters, Miss Pac-Man was inducted Thursday into the World Video Game Hall of Fame along with Dance Dance Revolution, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, and Sid Meier's Civilization. All right.
What a newsy voice.
So I had chosen a DDR, Civilization, Candy Crush. So I thought a mobile game should make it. And then I picked, God, what was the 4th one I picked? Holy shit, I forget the 4th one I picked. I gotta go back a month and see what I picked.
Yeah, I need to know too.
Let me see what the ones that were the nominees and it would come to my head. So DDR made sense because that's like an arcade thing.
I think DDR made sense to both of us. Ms. Pac-Man made more sense to me than you, but I understood your reasoning for not picking it. Civilization made sense. Zelda did not make any sense to me.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time, we said it was like, well, it's a 3D Zelda, great, but like that's like. I understand people love it. It's one of people's favorite Zeldas. It's one a lot of people grow up with. They already have Legend of Zelda in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And like they have, Super Mario 64 is the one that really blew up in 3D platformers and 3D gaming. So in terms of like consoles, at least, in terms of that format.
I almost feel like only one iteration of any game should be allowed in because you're representing the whole series.
I guess you're not, though, according to how people are voting.
Sure.
That's the thing. Like,
right.
Miss Pac-Man's a sequel to Pac-Man. It's the most important arcade game ever, arguably. But like I don't think it should have got in this soon compared to everything else.
Right, or give them more time between. Because I do think I Rogue was my long shot. I really
knew that wasn't coming in. We knew that wasn't going in.
Deserves it though. I mean, it's got an entire fucking genre.
Yeah, at some point. Not right now.
Well, I feel like it definitely could have taken the place of Zelda or Ms. Pac-Man.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't argue that. Now I'm trying to think what the 4th nominee I had was. It was.
Oh, Resident Evil was the one that you picked.
Was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you picked Resident Evil.
Oh, you're right. I guess because of the horror stuff. Maybe?
The horror stuff, and also I think it's a different kind of 3D game too.
Okay.
I think you might have picked Resident Evil.
Wow.
Because I remember you picked something that you don't ever really talk about or play, and I was like, it's a good point.
Candy Crush I did too, but
sure.
Candy Crush is now 10 years old.
Jesus Christ.
That was one of the first probably the first big smartphone games, you can say, Candy Crush. That's the one everyone heard of on there. Because even like the Flappy Bird thing, that was like Flappy Bird was like a moment in time.
Yes.
But a fad. It wasn't really, there's like the huge Flappy Bird series that people get on. But Candy Crush is huge. Anyway, so that was fun. Maybe in the future you can do more than 4, maybe do 5. but whatever. You're never going to get through a lot of these. We'll be dead.
Yeah, less nominees, or honestly, induct 5 a year.
5 or 6. I mean, come on. There's.
We got a lot of catching up to do.
That's what I said. Like, if you did,
You can slow it down at some point, but we got a lot of catching up to do.
10 a year the first 5 years, maybe get like a nice 50 piece. Do that. Speaking of Hall of Fame games, again, Duke Nukem.
Yeah, I slapped this on here when I thought we would have less to talk about. Don't really care about Duke Nukem Forever. However, it is interesting that the 2001 build of Duke Nukem Forever did leak. I believe this was the one that was shown off at E3. Yes, the game's most famous trailer.
The one that was originally going to come out.
Yeah, showed off a bombastic explosion-filled romp in this article from Ars Technica by Sam Makovich.
Good old Sam.
But basically, it talks about how it was leaked on 4chan. It has a smattering of test levels. They recorded a level of gameplay set in a strip club called Slick Willy, which is certainly Duke Nukem-esque. And I don't know if that has been leaked to the public yet, but I have a feeling it will probably find its way out there soon enough.
So he called up lots of people saying, "Oh, you really don't have it," and then they released footage.
Yeah, I guess so.
Trying to see the article here. Who's this person that released it?
I don't know. It says someone released it on 4chan. I don't know if it actually said who released it.
Wow, they got out. Let's see Sam's final word here. With the release game now past the 11-year mark. God, that came out 11 years ago. The one that finally came out.
Yeah. Wow.
It's arguable that any leaked files fall under the category of historical curiosity about the making of gaming's best known vaporware, though if a leak includes classic games still actively re-released by their platform holders, the ethics may be iffier. Either way, count us among the curious to see exactly where this 2001 build lands in terms of both playability and completed action sequences, and how the community might respond to any source code leak. Could an enterprising fan finish what 3D Realms started, or at least do so differently than Gearbox Software did? Because I guess we won't know until people look into it how closely that release was to this one.
Yeah,
I guess it was somewhat similar, but like they still had to recreate a game. I
have no idea.
What a weird story that. But at least it got out, and I guess some people liked it. NFT market may be crashing, Ian.
Yes, I cannot get this article to load, but Wall Street Journal did a very similar one, talking about how NFT sales has plummeted 92%.
That's from the peak. Based upon daily average sales. So in the fall, it was 225,000 sales at the peak, and now the daily average is 19,000. So they're going off of volume.
Yes. Here. And a lot of NFT buyers started crying and howling at these articles when they came out, being like, well, you're only looking at one exchange and all that nonsense. But it's the biggest exchange. I believe these articles have been looking at OpenSea. Mm-hmm. OpenSea is the biggest, most popular exchange. So if you're seeing a 92% plummet in sales on OpenSea, I don't think that means that other exchanges are magically doing better. If your best is doing poorly, then all the other small ones are probably doing poorly as well.
Or not certainly, probably, they're not going to make up for the one biggest marketplace.
Right, exactly. They're not going to make up for it.
And then this is an article from the past day happening from, what is this website? actionnetwork.com. NFTs crash as Bitcoin and Ethereum fall. Because remember, Ethereum's tied to most of these NFTs.
Ethereum's tied to most NFTs, yeah.
Bored Ape floor down 53% in 10 days. So you talk about the apes. The apes are like one of the ones. Okay, these are the ones. These are the blue.
They're your blue chip NFTs.
Okay, if that means anything. So this is article. I'll put it here, Ian, because we'll follow up on this, and we're going to hammer home. I mean, we don't have to hammer home how awful NFTs are. It's just the very, very vocal minority that have so much money that try to like yell at us.
And I expect to see a reemergence of them in mainstream news for a little bit, and also maybe on my timeline on Twitter, because they're going to get real loud as they try to save their money.
Oh, yeah. This article from Darren Roval, updated on my birthday, May 9th. Plummeting cryptocurrency prices are wreaking havoc on NFTs on top of that, as Bitcoin and Ethereum flirted with 10% drops. In one day, wow, the sale of NFTs fell too. The so-called blue chip NFTs were not saved from the carnage. One person who sold off was the owner of Bored Ape number 4688, who bought it 2 weeks ago for $418,656. He sold it on Monday for $240,590.
Smart business investment.
A loss of $178,000. Pat math, that's like 45% gone in 2 weeks.
The floor price for the cheapest board ape 10 days ago was $419,273. By 5 p.m. on Monday, the floor was down to $198,230, a drop of nearly 53%.
One CryptoPunk sold for $106,000, the lowest price for a CryptoPunk in 9 months. So this is what's going to happen. You're going to have the panic sellers start to happen. Yep. This is with any crash. People that got it and realize, oh, I got to cut my losses. Like that person, who in their right minds would buy something for $418,000 and then sell it for $178,000 less in 2 weeks?
Someone who sees the writing on the wall.
Someone who says, I made a bad idea. This is a bad decision. It's about to be, I want to do it now before it becomes worse. Yeah. Before I lose mostly everything. And that's the problem.
$500,000.
When something is based only purely on hype and speculation, a digital good which has zero real world value on its surface, a digital good, it all it takes is for a couple cracks to come through. Yeah, a couple cracks right there, and then it's a flood.
These people panic. People start to see a small drop. More people panic.
Yep,
larger drop,
and then there's not enough money to come in to try to like prop it up.
Right.
Probably going to see that with like the WADA and Seal Game stuff. That's probably going to happen.
I feel like we have a lot of people here who are doing this who have probably put in all the money they can put in,
or a lot, or maybe they're millionaires have money to play with that realize, okay, I already made some money. Now I got
right. But what I'm saying is, I think we're getting to the point where even the millionaires and billionaires who are playing in this pool are probably like, I don't want to put any more money into this because it's not doing anything. Mm-hmm. Again, it's one of those things where eventually someone's going to stop throwing in good money after bad.
Yeah. Remember, this is only like a year old NFTs. That we know, like a year. It seems like it's been 20 years with all this shit that's happened.
Beanie Babies lasted longer.
Now it's at least a physical object. You can have your kid play with it. You can display them. The Web3 is going great account every day. Oh, 180,000 gone, 2 million gone from this rug pull or this hack, this collapse. How long can this be sustained where people are losing, obviously collectively worldwide, millions of dollars a day are being lost to grifters and thieves and hackers, to these marks? Or like this, at some point, people got to say, hey, I'm a mark. I can't keep losing money. Like at some point,
I can't keep being a mark.
Collectively, you have to realize what this is. Like collectively, obviously, you're going to have winners in here. You're going to say, "Oh, Pat, I bought my NFT for 10 grand and sold it for 100." I get it, but overall, this is bad for the collective. Like just the same thing with crypto in general. Overall, you're going to have a lot more individual losers versus the small amount of winners in it.
Right,
the whales. This is how it works. I'm not saying anything crazy, am I?
I go to search for Web3 is going great on Twitter, and it's the first. It's like my most recent search. I check this account all the time.
Yeah. Is there anything good coming up? Is this coming up? This article?
No. It's just people admitting to rug pulls.
Yeah.
Former footballer Michael Owen claims his NFTs will be the first ever that can't lose their initial value.
Can't lose, Ian.
Can't lose their initial value.
Can't lose.
That's insane.
Oh my God, it's bad. All right, well, get in early, Ian.
Yeah, get in early.